I have just finished watching your video and would like to correct several errors in facts that hurt your cause. I hope you were able to use this to make a more solid and sound argument. First off is some simple facts of life. Plants are living beings. They may not move, but they still exhibit all the signs of being alive. We must eat other living organisms in order to live, as we lack photosynthesis. People who hunt are no worse than those that farm. The only difference is hunting uses crossbows and rifles. Next, the Second Amendment does apply today as it did back then. The founders made these fundamental rights. As for militias, you seem to have mistaken militia with military. Militia is a private organization of individuals that the state can call on to protect itself outside of the military. The National Guard does not fulfill this requirement because it is federally funded and thus not state-controlled. That being said, the Second Amendment says a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, shall not be infringed. Notice how it changed from militia to people. The courts have consistently defended that the Second Amendment applies to individuals. However, you can debate this one, but make sure when you do, you frame it from a stance that you don't think individuals should be considered a part of militias. Let's define genocide. Genocide is the deliberate and systematic extermination of a national, racial, political, or cultural group. Now, while it does sound threatening, no one man is capable of such actions without the backing of a powerful organization. Governments commit genocide, people commit murders and killings. I would now like to take the time to go over your many inconsistencies when it came to your descriptions of guns. Now please bear in mind that if you don't know what you're talking about, people are not going to take you seriously. So let's take some time and get a few things straight so that you can better support your argument. A machine gun is fully automatic, which means that you pull the trigger once, and the gun will continue to fire until you let go of the trigger or run out of rounds. Semi-automatic weapons fire one bullet and then load up the next one with each pull of the trigger. While the principal blowback mechanism is the same, the trigger mechanism is the huge difference, as they are both designed differently. Burst fire is considered part of the fully automatic range of weapons. So to call a gun a semi-automatic machine gun is a contradiction in terms. The list of features on your quote semi-automatic machine gun sniper rifle unquote made me laugh. Painting a rifle black has no effect on its lethality. In fact, it has no effect on anything. You might argue that black is harder to see, but gray and other neutral colors will still be hard to see at night. A scope does not improve accuracy of a weapon, but allows a shooter to more precisely see where they are aiming. A foregrip reduces felt recoil, but does not give pinpoint accuracy when firing from the hip. A flash hider reduces the seen muzzle flash from the shooter's eyes, but not everybody else. That is the job of a flash suppressor, also known as a silencer. A laser pointer allows the shooter to see where the round is going by placing a dot on the target, and a flashlight is used to illuminate what's in front. I got a kick out of your fire selector. Safe and killing spree. Seriously. If it is a military rifle, then there is safe, semi and auto modes of fire. A civilian version has only safe and semi. Those scary unidentified parts of your gun picture was the mag release, charging handle, forward assist and fastening screw on the adjustable stock. And a high-capacity mag does not bestow endless supply of bullets. The one in the picture is a 30-round magazine, but it would be no different than 3 10-round mags. In fact, even the argument of larger mags allow you to carry even more is somewhat flawed, because bullets still weigh something, and the more you have, the more encumbered you become. And firing accurately from the hip is a joke. Any competent shooter, and especially those wanting to get the most carnage out of their killing sprees, they would fire from the shoulder. Firing from the hip is a last resort, as there is no accuracy from doing so. Any movie that shows people shooting from the hip is just a fiction of Hollywood. You end up expending too many rounds in the vain hope of even hitting just one target. It is, however, good in peppering an area with rounds, but is still not as effective as firing from the shoulder. And pistol grips have no significant advantage to an ramel grip. It's a matter of preference, but neither allow for better firing from the hip, and if the weapon has a stock, a pistol grip makes it harder to shoot from the hip. As far as everyone using .22 rounds. You're joking, right? You may be able to kill a squirrel with a .22 round, but not deer, bears, or other creatures. In fact, assault rifles uses an intermediate cartridge that is less powerful than a rifle round, but more powerful than a pistol round. Your standard hunting round is far more powerful than an assault round. Good example is the AK-47 round, which is a 7.62 x 39 mm round versus a standard 30.08 or 7.62 x 51 mm round. Most pistols shoot rounds that can do a lot of damage up close, but they lack the range of rifle rounds. Of course, we could always go to crossbows, but you must realize that bows and crossbows present a far more powerful tool for assassinations and murders, but poor self-defense. Finally, let's cover the idea of banning guns. You could convince people to place a ban on guns, but how effective would that be? We banned alcohol back in the late 20s and it caused a surge in organized crime as they started to profit off of what used to be legal. While there were some things being imported, most of it was being made here in the USA. We can also look at the war on drugs. Weed is outright banned, but people still smoke it here in the States. So would banning guns remove them from society? Simple answer is no. However, it would mean that there would be no way for the government to regulate it anymore, as you cannot regulate criminal activities. If we could, we'd just tell them to stop. And finally, to wrap up, the Brady assault weapons ban does not make fully automatic weapons illegal, as they were made illegal by the Firearms Control Act of 1934. The assault weapons ban makes semi-automatic weapons of certain cosmetic looks illegal, because they look scary. The four features that make a weapon an assault weapon, not to be confused with assault rifle, is a bayonet lug, folding or collapsible stock, a pistol grip, and a flash suppressor. A rare and obsolete form of grenade launcher in which the grenade is placed in the barrel of the rifle. Not the M240 we see on the TV. The reasoning behind the bill was that if the firearm looks scary, then we can have it banned. Sadly, it did nothing of any real significance. Again, the real assault rifle and machine gun ban was back in 1934.